Hey guys, it's Nomiki. I am just walking down the streets of Astoria, killing a few minutes, and I figured, what better time to talk about how Bernie Sanders is likely the nominee? We saw something unbelievable. Not even unbelievable, it was wonderful, and it was exactly what Bernie needed to do last night, and that is Bernie has to have these big wins, had to have these big wins. And frankly, I think at this point, a signal, right, to the establishment that they don't have room for rat factory is what I was gonna say, because I don't know if YouTube will condemn me. So it's rat factory. So let me explain to you why the chances of a contested convention are nearly impossible at this point. And really every other candidate needs to get out of, really just doesn't have a shot. And that includes Bloomberg, by the way. So first off, you know how the ballot system works. I'm just gonna remind you all, because if you haven't tuned into my previous live streams or events, videos, you need to have, as a presidential candidate, to seize the nomination before the convention, 1,991 delegates. Those are the delegates you earn through the electoral process of primaries and caucuses. And as of right now, pretty much unless there's some sort of crazy event that occurs that you can't even factor in, Bernie is the only candidate who can get 1,991 delegates before the convention taking the nomination. In fact, because of the win from yesterday in Nevada, the huge win, and how that's going to ricochet into Super Tuesday in California, where he's doing very well right now, and there is even some prediction that he might win all the delegates, although I think that's kind of outrageous, but who knows. Then he is likely after Super Tuesday going to be called as the nominee. Now, let's look at the scenarios for every other candidate. This is where it goes into conspiracy land and Hail Mary passes, okay? So for every other candidate in this race, every other candidate, they need to, number one, they need to absolutely have a contested convention to be able to have a chance, okay? The chances of a contested convention right now, I'm gonna throw it out there, are 4%. You got that? Which means Bernie Sanders does not get 1,991 delegates. Nobody else has a shot at getting 1,991 delegates. None. Not one other candidate has a shot. Okay, only Bernie Sanders. No, you keep canvassing because I'm gonna get to the other point, which is he has to keep these margins huge. There's no room for shenanigans when the margins are huge. Okay, so everyone's got to make phone calls, turn out, tell your friends and family. Don't get confident here. You're still running against Bloomberg, who has, basically billions of dollars to waste on this election by ruining Bernie Sanders. The messaging's not working, and at this point, he has so much momentum that the establishment is already realizing he's the nominee. Okay, so first point is, nobody in this race but Bernie Sanders has the ability to gather 1,991 delegates to win the nomination, right, before the convention. The chances of a contested convention are 4 or 5%. Every other candidate in this race, their entire strategy is dependent on 3 things. Number 1, a contested convention, 4% chance, 5% chance. Number 2, getting everybody else's delegates. So they have to make sure that all the other candidates are out of the race and they're giving their delegates to them. So Pete Buttigieg would have to have Warren's delegates and Amy's delegates and Biden's delegates and I guess Bloomberg's delegates if he earns some, and Steyer's delegates. He would need to be a factor. And then on top of that, it has to go to the second ballot, and they have to earn all of the super delegates. This is impossible. I'm saying 0% chance at this point for any of these other candidates, and they're only there as mercenaries. And I'm really just looking at one candidate who's pulling from Bernie, but it doesn't even matter anymore. It does not matter anymore. They're not getting the delegates to block Bernie from getting into the convention in 1,991 delegates, right? If you don't believe me, look at California right now. Look at Texas right now. The margins right now are large enough for Bernie, and the momentum because of Nevada and the way that the mainstream news is basically half of the people in the mainstream, even though they hate Bernie, are like, he's the nominee. So there's going to be more pressure for these other candidates to get out of the race, and it's going to hurt their fundraising, even if they have a good debate. Elizabeth Warren had a great debate, okay? That was just for her fundraising. It didn't help her electorally. But I think what happens is you have candidates who are listening to their consultants, and consultants who are dependent on the money keeping staying afloat, like making sure the money keeps flowing, that they're riding the gravy train. But it's delusional at this point. It is absolutely delusional. Biden might do well in South Carolina, or he might not, frankly. But he's not going to earn enough delegates to clinch the nomination. He's not going to earn 1,991 delegates, which means his entire strategy is dependent on a second ballot and gathering all of the delegates from the other candidates and the superdelegates. Do you understand what's happening? This is not happening. It's not going to happen. Bernie is the nominee. He is the presumed nominee. The chances, if I were in betting, and I probably should be at this point, the chances are extremely high that he clinches the nomination right after Super Tuesday. And if other candidates start to see the writing on the wall and feel pressure to get out, then they're going to start bowing out. The question, who's first? I think that after South Carolina, you might see a couple candidates drop out. It's just, it's too hard to fundraise. There's a lot of debt right now for some of these campaigns. You're saying, where am I? I'm in Astoria. It's actually not cold. It's 50 degrees. I'm wearing a light jacket and a sweatshirt and drinking an iced coffee. I don't love the plastic cups, Astoria coffee. I just want to say that. But yeah, anyways, so this is a moment, and I think it's important for you guys to go out there and challenge your friends and say, is Elizabeth Warren, is Pete Buttigieg, is Joe Biden going to get 1,991 delegates to clinch the nomination? No. Are they going to block Bernie from getting 1,991 delegates? Probably not. So their entire strategy depends on them getting to the second ballot and earning everybody else's delegates. That's not happening. And the superdelegates, which, believe it or not, are actually split. They're not like one unified group. It's not like it's all, like they're all anti-Bernie. A lot of the superdelegates are DNC members who are, for reform. So this is really not likely to happen. I just want you guys to realize this is a result of the movement working. This is the result of several years of organizing. This is because you guys are making phone calls and knocking on doors and dispelling the myths out there. And you gotta keep, exactly. Thank you, Billy Capri. You have to keep canvassing. We have to keep winning by large numbers. The only way that they can rig this election or sabotage it or rat-fack it or play shenanigans, whatever term you want to use, is when the margins are too close. David Axelrod said after the 2016 election that, if Russia interfered, it should have never been so close for Hillary. Meaning, a couple of Facebook ads should have never affected the outcome of an election. And I think that's why her message was all over the place in terms of taking responsibility. It really came down to she wasn't winning by the margins she needed to win by to clinch the nomination. So you guys have to keep working. I'm so appreciative of your support of this channel. We're new, as you guys know. What borough is this? This is Queens, baby. We are in Queens, in Astoria, and it's a beautiful sunny Sunday, and look at the sky. It's blue skies, not a cloud in the sky. 50s. You could hear birds chirping. Spring's coming. I'm loving it. I'm gonna call this Bernie Spring. It is Bernie Spring, baby. Keep up the great work. Keep making phone calls. Keep dispelling the myths on social media. Keep telling your friends and family that, we need to defeat Trump, and right now Bernie is the only way. Aquarius in the house, that is right. I'm an Aquarius. And if you haven't already, I'm gonna tell you, subscribe. Go to patreon.com/The Nomiki Show. I have to do all these plugs. It's foreign to me. And if you're in Los Angeles or plan on being in California for Super Tuesday, we're doing a live show with all these amazing experts and activists: Michael Brooks, Alona Minkowski, Francesca Fiorentini, LA Charger Justin Jackson, Nando Vila, and Lucy Flores, and David Dayan. I say his name wrong all the time. I have to get it proper. We're gonna be on stage in downtown LA, probably celebrating Bernie Sanders at that point. It's gonna be a celebration party. You don't wanna miss it. Gonna be a blast. Make the phone calls, texts, all the things you have to do. All right, I'm going to enjoy my Sunday. I hope you do too. And I promise I'll get better at this.